looks happy as she's stepping into the circle against Elizabeth Williams. And the game's underway, and a lot like on Wednesday's game, the Atlanta Dream start off with the ball. Samuelson going against Courtney Williams, and one of the key points coming into this game was the mismatch. Courtney Williams from the top of the key lets it fly, and you like to see that if you're Coach Peterson, falling early for Courtney.
An important shot for Courtney because Tiffany Hayes was the only player for the Dream in double figures on Wednesday. That will need to change tonight. They will need to have more balance.
Can't convert. Sue Bird pushing in transition. All the way to the bucket. Another thing Coach Peterson mentioned, the adjustment. And only one player, Tiffany Hayes, was in double figures, so see how they can change that. Right away, Courtney Williams adjusting a bit, fronting Katie Lou Samuelson. And once again, she said, I just got to get to my money spots. Mid-range, I would say, is that. Nice pass underneath to Williams, who finishes over Russell. And it's about the Dream executing as well. He said, we're in our half court. Want to make sure Courtney Williams and Tiffany Hayes get a touch. Magic happens when it does. A lot like that.
They've been able to get a piece of the paint, get the ball worked inside out, and they've taken pretty good shots so far.
Great defense by Elizabeth Williams, just a better shot by Brianna Stewart. Sue right away to Jewel Lloyd for the two-man game.
You have got to be aware and stay glued.
Odyssey Sims with a beautiful move to the bucket by her own. Great find underneath by Hayes as well. We'll go back to the tape. We'll see if we can break it down for you. Again, Stewart over the right shoulder, and she can just give it to you in so many different ways. Courtney Williams, we know that she's been known to go up against taller defenders, and that's one reason why Fearless is her name. Seeing different looks on the defensive end for Seattle as Tiffany Hayes very close to getting it down, but Monique Billings said, I want to clean up. Who just checked in for Atlanta during the break, as well as on the other side, Candace Dupree in the game for Seattle is Jewel Lloyd. Got Ari McDonald and Jewel Lloyd battling out, and Jewel Lloyd just steps out and say, I'll take the three. Seattle with the 5-point lead, approaching the 2-minute marker in the first quarter, and Courtney Williams has just simply been a problem for Seattle. Shakina Strickland in for Atlanta. They're just working the clock a bit. They're going to have to make something happen quick. Tiana Hawkins from outside. We have to get back to the basics. They understand their identity comes on the defensive end. Let's see if they can get it done for the night. Epiphany Prince from outside to the bucket. Doesn't get it to go. Sue Bird from the logo on the side and knocks it down. Blown up in that third quarter, heading into the fourth quarter. Maybe those were some desperation threes as well, just trying to get back into the game at that point. Prince rises up and once again knocks it down.
Tough.
Sue Bird looking for the two-man game at the top of the key. Talbot lets it go and no surprise, knocks it down.
The physical readiness of a college player is just as important as any other aspect of the game. You got to be ready to come in and compete with the biggest, strongest, fastest players. And speaking of fast,
right now Atlanta trying to get things going from the outside. 4-point lead turns into 6 for Seattle. Stewart. And we've seen it time and time again. Nice bucket. But until then, the wait continues.
When two defenders like we saw there are covering Hayes and Williams, that's what's got to happen. Wherever that extra defender is coming from, got to get the ball there. Now, that's easier said than done because Seattle is long defensively, and they can take away your vision.
Rims out. Second chance opportunity. Beautiful dish on the inside by Canada. The block is called and one for Stewie. With the substitution, Jordan Canada all the way to the bucket, and that's a matchup you definitely want to keep your eye on, the foot race. And she has flourished with this team. Elizabeth Williams connects with Tiffany. Cheyenne Parker, that's what you like to see for Cheyenne. Much needed bucket for her. Less than 10 on the shot clock. Jewel Lloyd loads up and hits the bottom. In double figures for Seattle. And Cheyenne Parker, we're seeing her get in more of that rhythm.
You mentioned it earlier, was a highly sought after free agent. I think she's got more perimeter skill than we've seen in this league so far. Amazing pass there.
Them still trying to work around some things as far as their lineup. Well, Seattle doing the same thing. They signed Talbot in the training camp. Katie Lou Samuelson from Dallas as well. What's the level of execution for Atlanta here in the third quarter? Right away, Mercedes Russell demands the ball on the inside. Nice dish on the inside for Tiffany Hayes. They're just trying to see if they can work on any angle on the inside. Tiffany Hayes taking it in her own hands, and why not?
If the ball moves, they can't allow the ball to get out of those situations.
A cut underneath by Sims. Some contact from Cheyenne Parker, and a nice finish on the left. Coach Dan Hughes, so learned a lot during his tutelage. And nice baseline jumper by Hawkins.
Good clear out.
Make their way back into the game. In single digits with 8, but it's those second chance opportunities, LaChina, you said, be on the board, and that's one reason why. Second chance leads to a three-pointer by Epiphany Print. The pace for Atlanta. Courtney Williams, as you said, so many bodies going towards her, and that's what you need Cheyenne Parker to extend the floor and definitely knock it down. He said we have to play her in order for her to continue to get these reps. Beautiful shot and finish by Erin McDonald.
Come you know what or high water, she was getting to the rim.
Lloyd on the other end.
Oh, that's a piece of work.
It's very entertaining.
What a drop
Prince
pass.
Just picking apart the Atlanta defense.
It was the hezzy though. She got her with the head, little hezzy move.
Right away, Erin McDonald, her aggressiveness is so impressive. 30 seconds left in the third quarter, and Prince has been outstanding. And Jewel Lloyd playing some of that bully ball and dishes off for the bucket.
You know, a little slower, and then they took more restrictions off, and that's exactly the model the WNBA is going with, just to make sure everything is in place. And everybody's good to go. Courtney Williams good to go.
Good to see Erin McDonald on the floor as well. We already mentioned the energy she has, but what she's going to bring for this team, the trust that she's earned from her teammates as well as coach as well, being in these minutes. And Courtney Williams. And even with the slow second quarter, third quarter, she's found a way, but Brianna Stewart is just a walking bucket. As we're approaching the halfway mark here in the fourth quarter, Brianna Stewart.
Oh boy.
Just doing Brianna Stewart things. 15 minutes so far tonight.
Beautiful cut by Parker. Showing hands. Hayes with the delivery.
And 17 points for Cheyenne too. She's had a pretty impressive second half. Approaching the 3-minute mark, in that curl by Jewel Lloyd on the inside, and she brought everybody from Atlanta and still drops it for 2. Struggled in the last 3 games, now 4 games in the absence of Kennedy Carter, and I know it's an adjustment as Jewel Lloyd just continues to pile up the points. 20. You would assume that they'll just dribble this one out in the backcourt, and a very impressive win for Seattle to come in.